This is the second tutorial for the VEX mission disk mover. In this tutorial, we're going to start programming our code for this mission. So some things I want to focus on in this tutorial is, one, how are we going to sense the disks? And then two, how are we going to sense our distance from the wall when we go to bring them back? So those are two things that I really want to focus on. And we'll start with picking up the disks. What you'll notice is all the disks are colored. Some of them are red, some of them are blue, some of them are green, but they all have a color. The rest of the driving arena has no color to it. It's all white, or in the case of the sensor, has a color of none. So that's really important. Instead of writing 3 different batches of code, one for the blue disks, one for the red disk, and one for the green disks, seeking out those colors, we can instead look for the absence of color to be our condition to drive forward. And then when we see color, let's pick it up. So that's our place to start. To begin with, we're going to use some different loops than we used before. We're going to go into our control settings, and we're going to start by using while. All right, so if we come down here and we go to our while loop, and then we're going to go to what are we looking for? What do we want for the condition? In this case, we're looking for the down eye. So we'll set that to the down eye. Let's hide this for a minute. We're looking for the down eye to see none. Anytime it sees anything other than none, it's going to leave the loop and go on and do whatever else there is we ask it to do. But to start with, let's go with none. All right. And so when we see none, we want it to drive forward. And because there's a lot of driving, I'm going to set mine to drive forward fast. All right. So I'm going to go and I'm going to change my drive velocity. All right. So just before it starts driving forward, I'm going to set my velocity to 1,000. All right. So as long as it doesn't see any color, it's going to drive forward. We haven't told it to do if it sees color. So in this case, I'm just going to put a stop driving. Let's try it, see what it looks like. Press play. It goes out, sees color, it stops. Boom. Okay. So that's the first part. Now, the next thing we want to look at is sensing distances. So just to kind of compartmentalize this a little bit, I'm going to grab this and move this off. I'm going to move this off to the side. So if I go back here, all right, I'm going to tell it to stop driving when it gets close to something, okay? So if I want to stop driving before it hits this back wall, because that's the first thing it's going to see, all right, I can do that by telling it, drive forward. And then we want to tell it when to stop driving. So if we go into our controls, we'll tell it, instead of wait, we're going to wait until. Okay, well, what are we looking for it to wait until? Well, if we go into our operators, okay, we want to use distance, but we don't want to use a specific distance. We want to use our operators for less than. Okay, so I'm going to throw that in there. And then I want it to sense distance in millimeters. Let's again hide that. How about 100? So we're going to drive forward. And then when it gets anything less than 100 millimeters from anything in front of it, okay, I want it to stop driving. So let's try that. So drive forward. If you get any closer than 100 millimeters of something, stop. So let's show that. It's driving. Didn't see anything. Notice it doesn't see anything. The discs aren't tall enough. Oh, it saw the back wall. It stopped. Didn't stop the mission, but it stopped. Okay, so those are 2 really important things that we want to be able to do. There's a lot of other stuff in between there, but knowing those 2 expressions is really important for us. So let's try to put this together, right? And drag. I'm going to drag this off. I'm going to come over here. Let's put this back. So we've gone forward till we saw something, and at which point we're going to want to pick it up, right? We're using the magnet to do that. So let's throw that in here, boost the magnet. Awesome. Now we want it to turn around and head back for home. So drivetrain, I like to use headings when I do my turns. All right, so I want this to turn to a heading of 180. 0 is pointing straight forward. 180 is straight back. All right, so we're going to turn around after we pick up the magnet, and then we're going to drive forward, and then we'll stop driving when we get close to the wall. Let's try it. Reset. Okay, so it grabs it, it's turning around, boom, stops close to the wall. Perfect. Now we need it to drop it and do it all over again. So we'll go to the magnet, drop that in here. We'll tell it to drop it. And then in order to do it all over again, we need to make sure it turns back to our original heading of 0. So we'll turn to a heading of 0. And if we wanted to do it all over again, that means we need to loop back to the beginning, and that's a repeat loop. So we'll grab this, move it off to the side. We'll grab our repeat. I happen to know that there's 3 discs, so let's repeat this 3 times. Show it, and let's give it a whirl. So we'll reset, try it out. So it goes through, senses color of any kind, comes back. Oh, it didn't pick it up. Okay. Why didn't it pick it up? Well, it could be we were going too fast. All right. So do we want to slow down? Maybe. Maybe we want to slow down. Maybe after we sense it, we want to back up. Okay. Driving at 1,000 makes it hard to stop on a dime, as we learned in previous ones. So it did our 3. It didn't grab all 3 because it had to go out and grab the second one twice. All right. So we want to do some tweaking, and we'll save that for the next video. So check out the next tutorial.